And welcome back, my fellow fiends, to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Last time, we were caught off guard by the fiend Matador, but since I've played this game before, I had the foresight of that, so I was able to prepare amply, to say the least. Despite the not terrible time I had with Matador last time, this video almost opened with an encounter that completely wiped me out. Because sometimes this game can just be cruel, but I was fortunate enough to not have that happen. Anyways, over on that side is a mystic chest. Well, actually. And level up! I honestly forgot what the last thing I put my point into was. Oh well, I always like more magic. And we learned Fog Breath, one of the more popular skills in this game. Fog Breath is basically Super Secunda. It lowers the enemy's accuracy and evasion by 2 stages. Very valuable, even up until the end of the game. Didn't get lucky with the Magatama reactions there, as I'm just looking at this and I forget what's the proper procedure to getting that mystic chest. But it looks like the full Kagutsuchi's about to pass me by anyway, so we'll just have to come back around for it another way. Sorry I'm kind of ambling around here. I genuinely did not remember this dungeon being this large. I thought it only went on for a little bit after you defeated Matador. But that's what happens when you don't do any sort of preparatory runs for a game. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna miss that mystic chest for now, but I can come back for it later. No need to go off the beaten path for it. I'll come back for it off screen and grab it, and if it's something interesting, I'll let you know. I really do hope we get out of here soon. These enemies can really put a drain on your resources. Let's switch over our Magatama. Oh, you might have noticed this in the last video, and I didn't comment on it. The Ankh Magatama looks different and got this filled-in background. That's because I've mastered every skill it has to teach me, and you get a little message saying when you've mastered a Magatama. Does this affect anything? Yes, in a way, but it's anything major, but we'll definitely be seeing it over the course of the game. And just try to figure which one. I guess I'll go with Hifumi and get that force boost. Send Ice Breath out on its way. Did I come from? Yeah, I came from that way. I'm already forgetting what I did. It only happened like a minute ago. Sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me. My short-term memory's pretty bad. And dead end that way. Makes it easy for me. I can see light coming up from there. Chatter Skulls, so annoying to fight. If you don't want that fight to take a million years, you pretty much have to counter their Secunda. And we come out in the cemetery. Not the most desirable place, but hey, at least we're out of the sewer. And we're on our way to Ikebukuro. So, for those who forgot what we were supposed to be doing, because a lot has happened since we were given our objective, we're going to Ikebukuro to meet this guy called Gozu Tenno, who has a beef with the Assembly of Nihilo, who we believe might have Mr. Cow in their possession. The Assembly of Nihilo weren't particularly welcoming, and we want to find a way to get into their building. And Gozu Tenno, the leader of the Mantra Demon, seems like as good of a start as any, since he doesn't like them very much, and seems like the kind to lead an attack on them. Although, the Mantra-type demons, they don't seem very welcoming themselves. Yeah, this guy is going to take us on. Probably should have gone to a save point first, especially since this game hates me. Ugh. Yeah, War Cry lowers your attack magically and physically by 2 stages. Pretty nasty. We'll have to do some debuffing on this guy. This isn't actually any kind of boss fight. This guy's just a jerk. Better safe than sorry, I guess. Luckily, someone... Oh, come on. Guess I'll just have to get started on hitting him. Wow, I thought he had more health than that. Well, I overestimated him, and he's dead. I guess that's what he gets for trying that. Oop, we're in rough shape. Please give us some amount of reprieve here, Ikebukuro. Probably shouldn't talk to any more of these guys. I just kind of murdered their friend. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into a fight here. Well, let's see what we've got. Inugami and Bicorn. Oof, that would have been rough if he got charmed. Let's thin out the crowd a bit. Yeah, I guess that didn't help at all. Let's see. Better make these guys a little less threatening. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm completely out of MP. Don't have any way to recover it, so just kind of have to roll with the punches here. Inugami was a demon I was considering fusing because it learns Medea on its first level up, and that would have helped me to avoid level grinding to get it myself. But Inugami is also incredibly weak to Force, which, as you saw, Matador is quite fond of. So he would have been a liability. Luckily, this fight is going better than it could potentially go. But yeah, we're gonna have to look for the chakra drop. If I don't see the Fountain of Healing in a bit, I might just have to use that. There is a Fountain of Healing here. We don't have to warp back to Ginza or anything. Actually, it's right here. Okay, let's recover up here because we're in a bad shape. Okay. Get Pixie back in the group. Definitely want to get Trafuri soon. All these encounters just completely wearing away at me. It would be nice to have some method of getting away from them. Let's see. Save point. And Cathedral Shadows. There's a store around here. We'll save first. I've become very cautious about what could go wrong if I don't take steps to prevent it. And actually, before we delve any deeper into Ikebukuro, we're gonna be heading to the Labyrinth of Amalah instead. But before we do that, let's just go check out the store, see if it has anything for us. I could do some fusing, but there's nothing I'm particularly interested in right now. And every junk shop you go to from here on out will have this mannequin in it. I don't know how he's getting around so easily. Let's see. This one doesn't really sell much. Each different store has a unique inventory, so if I went back to him in the Great Underpass of Ginza, it would be different stuff than from what he sells here. Nothing I'm really interested in buying. I guess I could buy a float ball. No particular reason, I just want to buy something that'll get me a lucky ticket. Actually, you know what? I was gonna sell stuff, but maybe it's better if I hang on to some money before I leave. Or rather, don't get a large amount of money, because I could stand to lose some of it. Okay. Let's see, Nekomatas. This is the first time we've seen them outside of an encounter. If I remember correctly, they drained Force, and that made me sad the last time I fought them. So that's not a mistake I'm going to be making again. Electricity, though. No, they're none too fond of that. Yeah, it's embarrassing when you come across a demon that you're in possession of and you forget what it's weak to. I better check that in the status screen after this fight. Overall, though, my team's doing pretty good. These are some pretty decent demons. That is unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate. And that's why having a high luck stat is valuable. Get out of here. Tornado is good for just getting enemies out of the way. They don't stand up very well to it at this point in the game. Had I leveled up Nozuchi a lot, he also could have been my main Rakukajar, if that's a proper way to say that. And once again, I'm already in a rough shape, so healing. Luckily, though, if all goes according to plan, I'll be able to hold one over for our enemies for quite a while, because let's just say the Labyrinth of Amalah, it's a bit of a demonic training ground. Let's head in there. You can only get to the Labyrinth of Amalah from the teleporters, and you might be confused as to what you're supposed to do if you weren't really keen on what they were telling you. So this is the first time we've been here of our own will. Other times we've just been brought here just because. And it looks like the path is blocked, so we're going to have to look through that peephole again. Let's see what they got for us. That scene is the same as the first time you look into the peephole. No need to watch it again. This person seems to have an awful lot of trust in us for reasons that we don't quite understand. So, it looks like these fiends have robbed an old man. Well, are the fiends that possess them as rough as Matador was? So, between the one that he gave to me and the one we got from Matador, we have two of the candelabras. Yeah, we can help the guy out. I mean, he did give us the demonic power that has allowed us to survive this far. So it looks like they knew that we were going to be attacked. Would have been nice to have a little bit more warning about the nature of these things, but I guess I can't have everything. And they tell you something that you probably would have figured out if you came here in the first place. I don't know why they said that. Maybe originally it was intended that you were just going to be taken to the Labyrinth of Amalah straight away. You know, I thought this was pretty sketchy. So, of course, to anyone who can tell when they're being played, these guys, those candelabras weren't stolen. This seems to be some sort of twisted contest, for lack of a better way of putting it. But now we've gained access to the Labyrinth of Amalah proper, and to enter it, we just have to jump down one of these holes. If you guys have ever played Silent Hill 4, this should look familiar. In we go! And suddenly the game changes genres and we're free-falling. Oh god. Oh no! I knew I would mess that up. Okay, so, Ugh. That was making me look pretty stupid. And I missed. Okay, so we're grabbing Maka as we fall, and whenever you get hit like that, you do lose HP, which is kind of unfortunate. I was trying to punch open those obstacles because you get extra Maka from some of them, and instead I just lost a ton of Maka. Those blue things that I passed were items, and they tend to be pretty junky. If you get good at actually collecting those things, you can walk away with a little bit of extra Maka, but I just kind of killed myself. So there goes some MP that could have been better spent. I think it's time to lay down the foundation. Well, with that taken care of, we can head on our merry way. So you probably get the gist of this. Each Kalpa we go to will require a certain number of candelabras to pass through, and we get those by defeating some very difficult bosses. However, the Labyrinth of Amalah is actually a bonus area that you do not have to go to if you do not want to, and in fact, the majority of the themes can be walked right by. And in fact, a lot of them are off the beaten path, and the two that are on the beaten path, I believe you can just pass by them if you want to. So, Ruler of Chaos at the bottom of this labyrinth. I'm starting to get a picture of who this guy in the wheelchair really is. Anyway, the Labyrinth of Amalah is a fairly brutal and difficult and generally not nice dungeon that contains some fairly hard to... the point is I'm trying to make is that it's a pretty difficult area. Let's see, these are Incubuses. You can't actually encounter these guys yet in the regular world. And I forget what they're weak to. It's either force or electricity. I should have tried it with Pixie. But as you can see, these guys are a fair deal stronger than what we've been encountering up in the real world. Okay, it was force. That did some pretty wonderful damage. But they also give a lot more experience. And this is exactly what I wanted. Nepatra. Don't need Seduce, since High Pixie's going to be sitting back in my demon stock for now, as an emergency. That was a big amount of gravitas for a fairly lame prize. Okay, let's see, which demons would be the best for avoiding weaknesses? Actually be Chatterskull. As far as I know, on this floor there's nothing that uses instant death. But I've been wrong a frequent number of times throughout this Let's Play, so if for some reason you're playing along at home, don't take anything I say to heart, because I'm kind of dumb. Oh, I think this is a Loa. Yeah, things are pretty complicated when you're half human, half demon. Especially through the method which I was created. Okay, so this guy's giving you a couple of hints, tried to be disguised as advice. Basically, there's no save points when you're in the labyrinth itself, and you cannot negotiate with the demons here. So don't even bother. Let's see, that is a Dis, and that was lucky. And I'm going to take a guess and say it's weak to ice. No, it's not. But I froze the Chatterskull anyway. So yeah, a lot of the enemies you encounter here, you actually can't encounter in the areas immediately outside the labyrinth. We'll encounter them later up in the normal world. But for now, these are some unique enemies. What's this door over here? This one looks different. A burial chamber. Oh, this seems to be the resting ground of some of our more prolific enemies we've faced. I kinda feel bad now. Well, I will say this, they did aggress against me. One thing you're going to want to be aware of is that enemies here can kill you pretty fast. Well, I still have the reasonable capabilities of a human, so I guess I'll go human. Aw, that's not very nice. Wonder who these people inside this labyrinth are. And Bicorn leveled up. He learns anti-nerve, which protects him from nerve status ailments like paralysis. In that last fight, I got muted, which does what it does in most RPGs, prevents you from casting spells. Yeah, I never did say what that float ball I purchased does. Basically, you'll occasionally encounter floor hazards. The float ball lets you walk over them. I don't think I actually have a way to cure mute. That could be unfortunate. Well, this trip to the Labyrinth of Amalah might have already been cut fairly short. Unless I can find a certain guy. Yeah, we can explore for a little bit. My demons have been covering me pretty well at this point. Sounds like some sort of demonic creed. Are you the guy I'm looking for? Yes. Yeah. Well, that's a bit expensive, but I guess I'll go for it. So yeah, this is Dr. Dark. We met him at the very beginning of the game when we first became Fiend. And at that time, he was just fielding the cost himself, or I guess not charging us anything. But now he'll actually charge us, and he's pretty expensive. But we kind of needed it, because I didn't have any way of curing mute. Actually, what am I thinking? This is a new enemy. I was just about to cut this encounter out, but that on the left, or the right rather, is Copa Tengu. And that's actually a pretty good demon that I want to get. This is one that we can actually encounter in the world above. And it's good that he became frozen there, because frozen enemies cannot dodge. I'll throw a life stone on myself. Just because that Tarukaja will make them hit a bit harder. Man. Oh no, that... Okay, good. I was going to check what Bicorn resists, and then I just didn't. Oh well. Still getting lucky, I guess. Let's quickly heal Bicorn up. But yeah, Copa Tengu, it has Tarukaja, which can be a little nasty. It's actually a demon that you can encounter in the world above in Ikebukuro. And it's actually one I want to recruit. Now, this guy is saying he'll sell us something if we get stronger. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say he's offering to sell us a demon, but we're not high enough level to control it yet. Let's see. There's quite a few ways to go in here. The big thing about the Labyrinth of Amalah is that it's somewhat confusing and something of a puzzle. Oh man, I am an idiot. That's like the one thing that I tried to remember, like, don't do that. At least I have found favor there. As you can tell, I'm not very bright. But luckily it turned out okay. Lots of dead ends in the Labyrinth of Amalah, so you're going to be exploring for a bit. The first time I got to the Labyrinth of Amalah, I think I was like level 20 or level 21, and when I got out, I was about level 30. Don't know if I'm going to be spending that much time in here compared to my first time playing the game, but it just gives you an idea of what to expect out of this place. Oh, tornado time! Keep some encounters in just so we have interesting things happening. Next level up, we'll be getting Force Boost, which will make Tornado even stronger. It's already really strong at this point in the game. Okay, go with Agility. I don't know when I'm going to be investing in Strength. It's going to be a while. Anyways, Ice Breath, you had a good run, but I'm going to be running a different skill set this time. Alright, Hifumi, give me something good. Oh, that was basically the best thing that can happen. Thanks, Hifumi. Anything on this back wall? Oh, there's a cash cube on the other side. I'm just making sure that actually was on the other side. Oh, let's head through here and see what we've got. Actually, these are new enemies. A Flamus, oof, that could have gone badly. Flamus, Pyrojack, and I forget what the middle one's name is. I mean, I remember it, I just forget how to pronounce it. Oh yeah, now that's pretty good. Can't do that too much, but it is fun to do. It figures that's the encounter I get right after I get rid of my ice spell. Like, most of them were weak to fire. I think the middle one was weak to Zeo. Ah, now this is one of the first puzzle rooms in the game, and this is, or the labyrinth rather, and this is one of the more infamous ones, because some people think that you just have to stumble through this. What there is there's a bunch of pitfall traps in here, but if you look on the ceiling above, you'll notice that there's lights, but some of them are dark. The the parts of the ceiling that don't have light over them, that means that's a pitfall trap. So, yeah, it's the straight shot to that cube is a pitfall, but if we go around, we can just grab it, no problem. And get a chakra drop. Might need to use some of those as I progress through here, since I don't have a huge supply of MP. Let's head on down. And this is where you fall to if you accidentally drop down. We're on a side I don't think we can reach if we fall. Alright, let's explore a bit. Ah, this is actually some demons that I wanted to see. Particularly the one in the middle is Arahabaki. Arahabaki nullifies physical attacks and I believe ice attacks. I forget its relation to ice. It's a negative one though. It's actually the first enemy we've encountered that can nullify physical. And there's a way to get it on your team without negotiating in it here. On the left is Picasa, and on the right is Raja Naga. Or actually, I think it's just Naga. Raja Naga is a separate one. And these guys are all weak to fire. Okay, perfect. Oh, come on, Beacorn. Why you gotta do that to me? But yeah, don't use physical attacks on Arahabaki. It won't go well. As a nice trade-off, I believe it's weak to all other types of magic. Anyways, we don't want him to get anything off, so we'll just take him out. They also get very good experience, so if you want to do any level grinding, this is the floor to do it, because one enemy formation you can encounter is just 4 Arahabakis, and that formation gives a ton of experience. Okay, now this is just a different area. But who's this? Maybe it's someone trying to sell me something. I got some money. Let's talk to him. Sure. You know, they said I couldn't find any rest in the Labyrinth of Amalah. If these people are offering to help me, may as well take up the offer. No, yeah, I'll have another one. Feeling pretty good. Thank you, I'll have another... What? Whoa. Okay. So, yeah, those, when you talk to them, they heal you to full. and they take a bit more money than 500. Ooh, got on the rougher end of that. I think I forget if it's random or if it's a percentage of your money. That actually ended up costing me more than Dr. Dark. Depending on how light your wallet is, that can actually not be such a terrible thing. Like, if I only had 1,000 Maka, that would actually not only be cheaper than Dr. Dark, but the one reason I don't really mind using that service is because it takes us back to the entrance, which allows us to regroup. So if you're in a rough way, you can go talk to those two, and while you'll lose some money, you will get taken right back to the entrance. I think later in the game, they still take roughly the same amount of money they do right now, but at that point it's much more of a pittance, and being able to get out of the labyrinth instantly is actually pretty useful. But that's something we'll get to later. This is our first exploration of the Labyrinth of Amalah. We'll be going deeper in the next episode. But I hope you enjoyed watching, and please, my fellow fiends, have a nice day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.